All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. So just to introduce anyone who came in a little later, my name is Alex. I'm a recruiter here at FIU's Professional MBA in Sports Management. I'm joined by my colleague here, Laura, who represents the Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid. She is also a representative of the school and the program, so we're both your sources of information on this wonderful opportunity offered by FIU and her school. We're also joined by my good friend, John Perez here, who will be speaking on his experiences here at the Professional MBA in Sports Management. So now I'll just turn over to John for a moment to give a little intro on himself. I think you're muted, John. That's my fault. Give me 1 second, John. Sorry, everyone. There you go. You should be able to unmute now.
Hey, how's everyone doing? So obviously my name is John Perez, and I am part of the first cohort with this program with Real Madrid and FIU. A little bit about me, I went to FIU in 2012, and when I got there, I kind of was just a business major, not really knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And during my junior year, I always knew I had like a passion for sports. I always liked how it brought everyone together. And I decided to change my major to recreation and sports management at FIU. And I also decided to add a minor on with that in marketing. So in 2017, I graduated with a recreation and sports management degree. And during that time, we had to do 2 internships. So I decided to do mine with the FIU football team. And my first 6 months, I was a video assistant, and I kind of basically stood out in 100-degree weather while they filmed the practice. So that was kind of a little torture. But after I kind of gained trust with everyone, I got into the operations side, which kind of dealt with the day-to-day, and I was able to travel with the team to their away games, set up the charter plane, see how that was done, set up the recruiting visits and the camps that we had during the off season. So I really saw I had a passion in that, and that was something that I wanted to do. So after I graduated, I decided to stay an extra year to just get a little bit more experience in the sports industry. So I was there for the 2017 season, and that's the year where we had our first winning season. And since T.Y. Hilton, I made it to a bowl game. So that was an amazing experience to go through. And after that, unfortunately, there was no opportunity at FIU. So I decided to I needed a job, make money. So I got a job at USF, and I was there for 4 years. I kind of dealt with P card. So I was auditing the university credit card. And then I went to a purchasing position, which dealt with, building or purchasing lab equipment and services for the university. And then I got a fiscal and business analyst position at USF that kind of dealt with traveling and a lot of budget work within the college. And I am currently at Fanatics. I work as an operations and sourcing analyst there. So basically, if you guys don't know what Fanatics is, they are basically a e-commerce building, or it's an e-commerce company, and they deal with direct to customer to expand the global brand, and they also deal with memorabilia and collectibles. And also the CEO, who's Michael Rubin, was part owner of the 76ers and New Jersey Devil. He just sold part of his ownerships for both the teams because they're going to be getting into the gaming and betting industry. So that's a conflict of interest. So it's just a company that's growing expandingly and within the sports industry. And I am going to graduate at the end of the month. So I'm taking 1 class left, and I'm really excited to finish it all up because I've done a lot of homework the last 17 months, and I'm kind of done with it.
Thanks, John. So like he mentioned, we're very proud that he's here in the program, very proud to have him as one of the first graduating classes. So let's go into the actual Professional MBA in Sports Management. just before that, I'll give a little bit of background on our university, FIU, and the Real Madrid Graduate School. So just to start off, we are the fourth largest public university. Our rankings go as follows. We're the #3 online MBA program in the US. And according to QS online MBA rankings, we're the #10 MBA online program in the world. So that is a testament to our faculty, who have earned at least a PhD or have attained the highest degree in their field in almost every case. If not that, and also they are working in the fields that they're teaching, so they're able to call upon their everyday experience, and that assures you that the curriculum that you're learning in the classroom isn't something outdated. As we all know, the business world, the sports world is changing every year. So to have that really adds value to your education. Just a bit of background on the Real Madrid Graduate School. They've been pioneering the graduate school for sports programs around the world. There's more than 100 executives from the sports industry that collaborate with the school, have graduated from the school, or in some sort of way helping out the program. So there's a huge network of people working within that university. They are ranked #10 worldwide in the sports business postgraduate rankings. And as we all know, Real Madrid is one of the biggest names in sports, and it is the best soccer club of the 20th century with 24 European cups. So there's a lot to be proud about if you are a Real Madrid fan, or if you are just interested in learning from sports management. What better university to attend than one that has won 24 European cups with the sports club associated. So John, if I could ask you just a few questions while we're here. When you were looking at schools or other graduate programs, what led you to pursue this program and this university?
So obviously I'm an FIU alumni, so I always followed like all the FIU pages, and it was during COVID of like 2020, 2021, around there. I wasn't really happy with my job. I was like doing interviews, doing like the same thing I would be doing at my current position, and I wasn't really enjoying it. And I luckily, like one day was like, I want to do something that I have passion in, and if I don't do it now, I probably won't ever do it, and I'll going to regret it. And I didn't want to have that feeling on me. So, I looked at this program and I saw that's with FIU Business, which is a really prestigious university, and their rankings are going to keep going up. And FIU is such a young school that I think it's only a matter of time where there's so many like current graduates that are going to be succeeding, and it's only going to make the school more and more like popular and like more prestigious. And then I also saw that I could get opportunity to get a degree from Real Madrid Graduate School. And to be honest, like I'm not the biggest soccer fan or like Real Madrid fan, but I know Real Madrid has like such a huge brand. So you may like be the biggest Barcelona fan and like hate Real Madrid on the field, but like you have to understand like on the business side and just like how they've grown their brand, there's no one really else like them. Like soccer is the most popular sport in the world. So I just saw this as such a great opportunity to kind of just try to enter myself in this, that sports industry. And at FIU, I had a professor, and he, like, first day of class, he was like, 90% of you guys won't be working in sports. And I looked around the room, I'm like, well, it sucks for every 90% here because that's my plan. And then he's like, you're going to have a plan A and a plan B. And I really didn't have a plan B, and he made everyone go around the room. And when it was my turn, I made something up for my plan B. And so when I got to this situation, I was looking at this program, I was like, well, my plan A is to hopefully get into that sports, the sports industry. But if I can't get in there, I have an MBA I can fall back on from FIU, which is just purely business. So you're taking the same business classes as other, MBAs that maybe like specializing in marketing or in finance. So you just have a better understanding of that business aspect. And that's only going to look really good on your resume when you're competing with, hundreds of other applicants. And so that was kind of what I was looking forward to. And it's really paid off on my end. And, yeah.
Thanks, John. That's actually a perfect segue into the next slide. So just to go over the curriculum of the program. As you all are looking over the courses that you'll be taking in this program, just notice that on the left side, we have our FIU courses. Like John's saying, these are our typical MBA courses. You'll be taking them alongside the Professional MBA Online cohorts. These will give you, what we're aiming for is to give you an understanding of all facets of business so that you're able to be incorporated into really any part of an industry or any part of a business and be able to really flourish and understand what you're working on, what everyone else is working on, and how you can integrate your skills from these courses. Now, to direct your attention to the right side, these are the courses that are going to be taught by the Universidad de Europa Real Madrid. These are focused solely on the sports management world. So together, this is the Professional MBA in Sports Management. But now to turn your attention back to John. John, while you were in this program, or at least all the courses you've taken so far, what would you say has been the hardest course that you've taken?
So for me, the hardest course I've taken is corporate finance. Like I really didn't have that much of like a business background with my recreation and sports management degree at FIU. So like getting into this, I was kind of like a little lost, and we had to get like a finance calculator. And to be honest, like when I got it, I didn't even know how to do 2+2 on the calculator. Like it was just like different functions, but it was just a little bit more challenging, and you just had to like apply a little bit more time to it. So like I legit had, I would watch the classes and read the PowerPoints, and then after that I would go on YouTube and see like, okay, maybe there's like a better explanation of that. So that was a little bit like challenging, but I ended up getting an A on it, so I'm kind of proud of that.
Yeah, definitely something to be proud about. John, I'm sure there's a lot of people here attending that can relate to your situation in which you graduated in 2012 from your undergrad, and then a while later you entered your postgraduate degree. Do you have any tips for anyone that hasn't been in school for maybe over 5 years and are trying to like re-enter that schooling environment?
Yeah, so when I graduated, like I said, like it's been like 5 years when I first started this program, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really the best student in my undergrad. I was kind of lazy, but I think when you take some time away from school and you're kind of like in the real world and you're doing your job, and for me, like there was a lot of business stuff that I probably learned in school, but I wasn't really understanding or really paying attention to it. I think once you take these classes now, you're going to have a better understanding and knowledge of what they're teaching you, and you're going to be a lot more appreciative because at the end of the day, you're doing this for your future and to better yourself. So I think when you're looking at, like, when I looked at this list, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fail all these classes. They all look so scary, like, but it's honestly, it really wasn't that bad. And like a lot of the professors were really helpful with the homework, and they're all very doable. So don't really get scared when you're looking at this. Like, it is time consuming, and you're gonna have to have like time management, especially if you're working like I was. You're gonna have to set time aside and make some sacrifices here and there, but to me, it was kind of like a lack of confidence in myself. So just make sure you like build your confidence up within yourself, because it's doable. If I can do it, like, I'm sure everyone in here can do it.
Okay. I like the encouraging words. Just to move on into one of our more exciting parts of the program. This MBA is fully online. And like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be taking the FIU courses alongside our MBA online students. But while that is the case for our program, we still want you to be able to get the full extent of this partnership with the Real Madrid University. So for that reason, we offer this opportunity called White Week, in which you're able to visit the actual facilities of the sports club of the university in Spain. So if you are interested in the partnership because of your knowledge of Real Madrid and their accolades, then this really is a no-brainer. This is a wonderful opportunity to get an inside look to, like John and I have mentioned, one of the most prestigious sports clubs in the world. So like I said, it's an exclusive inside event. There is an exclusive inside event at Santiago Bernabeu, looking at the day-to-day operations of Real Madrid. So you really get to see in depth what you're learning in these courses at the Professional MBA in Sports Management. You get to visit the headquarters for the tennis, golf, fitness, and wellness centers, along with the soccer and non-conventional spaces. So while we are teaching about sports management, and Real Madrid is most known for their soccer club, they have a basketball club, they have tennis affiliates. There is a wide range of different tools that you'll be learning other than specifically soccer or specifically sports management. We want to prepare you for all those opportunities, and this White Week will really be able to give you that opportunity to see physically all these other spaces that Real Madrid populates. You'll also be able to have the opportunity to network with top managers and executives of Real Madrid in different areas. So, strategy, HR, marketing, finance, these are all different facets of Real Madrid. It's not just the soccer players, and it's not just going to the soccer games. There are a lot of aspects that can apply to really any industry, and being able to physically attend this White Week is kind of integral to getting that full experience of this partnership. So John actually did attend White Week, so I'd like to turn some questions over to John. What was it like attending White Week? How was it visiting the facilities?
So for me, White Week was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. So going into Madrid, so my cohort is really small. I think we're 6 of us. So I only knew 3 other people that were going to Madrid. And my favorite part was kind of just meeting all the other FIU cohorts. I really didn't know any of them, like I mentioned, and we were lucky to get along really well. And, hopefully I made some friendships. I don't know if they'll say the same back to me. They probably should, but yeah, it was just honestly amazing. And so the other cool part about the White Week was, I'd never gone to Madrid before, so I got to see a whole new city, and you're not totally consumed with, just going to Real Madrid events for school. So you have a lot of free time on your own. So after the events, we would go out to have dinner. We would go out after responsibly, be home early, and then make it to the bus on time. And so we did that, and then there was so many master classes and guest speakers that were amazing there. That depending on where you want to go into the sports industry, I think felt they always had someone to speak on that stuff. It was marketing or partnership. They always had someone talking about that. So you just kind of get a better understanding of the behind the scenes of Real Madrid and what makes Real Madrid so successful. Not really, kind of on the field, but most importantly, kind of off the field. Because if they weren't structured great and in a good position financially, they won't be able to be putting out a championship team on the field. And then the other things that were mentioned, how we went to different facilities. So we were able to see, I'm not going to attempt to say the whole name, so I'll butcher it. It was a Wanda, which is Atletico Madrid stadium. And that was honestly amazing because that stadium was built to hopefully get Spain the Olympic bid. So the stadium's just huge and just state of the art. And then we went to do a tour with Emilio Butragueño. I hope I said that right. And he's a Real Madrid legend. I did not know that till I got there. But he was super nice. And we went around their the Real Madrid facility, which is, state of the art, obviously. So you're just mind blown by that. And then the next day we went to the golf center, which is one of the most prestigious golf centers in all of Europe. So, kind of seeing that, I kind of like golf. So kind of comparing that to the US course is really interesting to me. And then Thursday, we went to the Liga office and we went into the war room, which is where all the presidents go and meet. And we had a La Liga employee higher up talk to us about the future of La Liga and how they plan on growing La Liga to different markets. So that was really interesting. And then you also can network with all these people that are speaking and hopefully make connection with them on LinkedIn. And you really don't know when you meet people a simple message on LinkedIn can kind of maybe help you get like a leg up on, applying it for a job. Or even if you're meeting people that were at the Real Madrid University that actually go there, like, I talked to a couple of them, and then there was people from Georgia, VCU, and Stevens Technology that I was able to talk to with and like make, that network. And I made, added them on LinkedIn and stuff. And so you just really don't know where they'll end up. And like, hopefully if you leave a good impression with certain people, you can always reach out to them if there's ever opportunity in the future, because you really don't know where people are going to be going. And it's always good to make strong connections with everyone. And I also went to Soccer X in Miami, which is basically an event with like top soccer executives. And Laura was there pushing me to talk to everyone because I was kind of shy at first. And like I said, I wasn't really a big soccer person, but at the Soccer X, I was able to network with the MBA operations, or the vice president of MBA operations. He just so happened to be there, and he also happened to live in Tampa. So I made, I had reached out to him through the app, and I met with him and talked with him, and he gave me his email. He said like, hey, if you ever need anything or if you see any job openings, like reach out to me, and I can put a good word for you. So you really don't know with these kind of things. And honestly, it was just like such a great experience that I would, if you could go, I would highly recommend going, because I don't think there's anything else like it.
I couldn't have written a better advertisement for White Week. That was great. Thanks, John. With that, though, we'll move on to the next slide. So actually, no, I meant to show this slide while we were discussing this. Here are some of these aspects of the Real Madrid partnership and some of the different industries that they try to push onto you that aren't just sports management. It's not just about running a sports club. It's not just about the soccer players. There are a number of different industries that are all surrounding and supporting a sports club at any given moment. John, you recently started at Fanatics, and how does working at Fanatics sort of embody the idea of working beyond the field? So not just being the soccer players on the field.
Yeah, so with Fanatics, like how I said, they deal with e-commerce, apparel manufacturing, and wholesale memorabilia and collectibles. So, for example, I'm sourcing, so I make the buys to the factories. So obviously it's such a huge team. So you have like the design team, the sales team, and they all, get together. They had to like talk with, for example, the NHL, they had to like talk with them, say like what design they want. And we are making orders for spring 2023. So we'll have like the NHL Classic, which is where they play like outside in the stadium. So we're making all those jerseys right now and sending them to the factory, confirming that they have like vessels ready to ship, because most of the factories aren't in Asia. So it's a lot, because like, let's say if there's something wrong, like the factory gets COVID or something, they have to delay that. And then you have to go and like talk to the NHL representative and be like, hey, we're not able to get this on time. Like, we may have to like change the shipping to like air to get to you quicker. So it's just like so much that you're dealing with, like business wise. It's not really, you're not really dealing much with like what's going on in the field, but it's so important because like we make like what they wear to training camp and all that stuff. So that's a bad look on the company, and also a bad look on, that organization as well. So you always have to be kind of always on top of it. And I think, with this degree, I was applying to Fanatics for maybe 2 years before I ever started this program, and I did not even get one interview or like a nice, hey, sorry, we didn't like, we don't want you at Fanatics email. So this degree really helped me. At least I think having that dual degree on your resume stands out, and people are going to be like, oh, Real Madrid, FIU, like MBA. It shows like you have like a no initiative and like you're proactive with your life and want to better yourself. So I think it kind of stands out with, trying to get into that sports industry. I also had interviews with the Charlotte Hornets and NASCAR, and I used to apply to sports positions before like joining this, and I would never get an opportunity. So just to get opportunity now, I think is key. And then when you do get the opportunity, just make sure that you're prepared, so you can kind of like capitalize on it.
That's great. Thanks, John. So just to go into now the actual format of the program, like we've been saying, this is a fully online MBA. Once you enroll, it will take you 17 months to complete the program. The upcoming start date for this program will be August 8th to be specific. And we're still accepting applications. So if any of you are interested in applying, stick around to the end. I'll give you instructions on how to actually go about the application. But just know we are still accepting applications, and there still is time to submit all the documents that we're going to need. The full tuition for the program will be $42,000. You'll be paying that in installments of every semester. At the beginning of the semester, you'll pay for the courses you're taking for that semester. There is financial aid available. And again, all this information will be provided to you numerous times throughout the application process. And just to let you know, during the application process, I will be the one handling your application and helping you out through that entire process. So feel free to sort of take any notes about any questions you have, and we'll be speaking as you submit that application. But John, just to turn it back over to you, with this being a fully online MBA, with you having a personal life that I'm sure you do outside of school, and also having a full-time job, how do you balance those three? What do you do to keep everything in order?
Yeah. So like my Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday is kind of like 8 to 5 I work. And then if I'm good, I'll try to get homework done like early in the week, because on Mondays they will post the assignments up. And when you're in the program, so the FIU, you'll be taking 2 classes at a time. So you'll have like one class on like a Tuesday and the other class like on a Wednesday. And also everything is recorded, so you don't really have to be on the class, and you won't get penalized if you are missing the class. So I always thought that was really important, because, we work and some people have families, and I know that's really tough to kind of balance all those things out. So I would try to if I could, I would try to get some of the stuff early done, or done early in the week. If not, my weekends are usually free, and that's why I kind of had mentioned you kind of have to sacrifice some of your free time or your fun stuff in order to get certain things done. So, like Saturday during the day, I would try to get my homework done or whatever assignments that needed to be done. Or it was late Sunday night, I have an hour to do this, let's go. Kind of grind mode on it, because to be honest, there's times where it's kind of like that. You don't really have that time in the week to get it done, and it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're like, oh, I have 2 assignments I have to do, so it's time to buckle up. But I really didn't. I think if you find 3 to 4 hours a week, I think you'd be able to get everything done. That's kind of how I felt it was. I really never spent 10 hours a week doing homework or something like that, where I think when you go to other MBA meetings, they say oh yeah, you're gonna have to put 5 to 10 hours a week, and that always scared me, because I barely have 5 to 10 hours to myself a week. How am I supposed to balance that out? But I think if you put anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a week, you should be good to go. And like I said, the Real Madrid classes are a little bit different than the FIU, because they don't really they're not American teaching where they focus on books and stuff. They kind of really focus on you understanding the concepts. So for our economics class, there's 4 of us that would that were able to attend the class at like 4 o'clock. And I always got scared because he would like kind of call out on us. It was like elementary school again. So I always made sure I was like prepared because I didn't want to like sound dumb and be like, oh, I'm not paying attention kind of thing. So I thought like learning that way is completely different because they kind of like try to make you understand the concept and then kind of give you a little bit of materials like, oh, here, read this article and apply what we learned to this. And it's kind of a little bit different than like the American version. So it's really good having that break because you go FIU, Real Madrid classes like back to back. So having those two different things is kind of relieving because you'll start complaining about like the FIU, like, oh, like it's a lot of work. And then you go to Real Madrid, like, oh, it's kind of a break. And then towards the end, you'd be like, oh, I wish it was FIU. And then you're back to FIU. So it's kind of one of those things.
Thanks, John. So now I'll give John just a little break. I'll go into the actual nitty-gritty of the program. So I'll be explaining in detail all these documents that you would need to submit as you go through the application process. Feel free to leave any questions in the chat. I'm looking at it now, so you can stop me there and I'll be able to explain it something a bit more in depth. So just to start off, to enter the program, you will need at least a bachelor's degree or a 4-year equivalent of a bachelor's degree. We will need the official transcripts from the institution you graduated from. So when you graduate, you receive transcripts. If you were to send over those to us, that would be considered an unofficial transcript. So until it's sent over by the university directly to FIU, that will not be satisfied. We are looking for an upper division GPA of 3.0. The upper division GPA refers to all of the classes that had to do with your major. So if you were a finance major, all of your math courses and business courses are going to be calculated into that GPA, but stuff like a science course or an arts course will not be calculated. So if you are worried that you have like 2.7 GPA on your transcript, that's your cumulative GPA. And in many cases, your upper division GPA is a little bit higher. So nothing to worry about. If your GPA is below 3.0, we'll still be able to work out with you. Just make sure to send over your transcripts. Our admissions team will evaluate it and we'll get back to you on where you stand. Another aspect of what we're trying to consider is your work experience. So we understand that maybe your undergraduate GPA from 10 years ago doesn't really reflect who you are now. So we want you to send over your resume or your CV, include all of the work experience you've ever worked, whether it's related to business or sports or not. Any work experience that you've worked, as long as it's full-time, make sure to include it. And if you have part-time experience, just notate whether it was full-time or part-time and notate the months that you began and ended those positions. The more work experience that we can put down for you, the better odds you have of getting into the program. So make sure to include everything. I know that in most cases when you're applying to like a job, let's say, you want to include just the work experience relevant to the job you're applying to. That's not the case here. Like I said, any work experience you've ever worked, include that in your application. We're also going to be asking you for a statement of purpose essay. This one really doesn't need to exceed 2 pages. Just describe why you're applying to the MBA program and how this MBA program fits into your career goals. Really, it's a way for us to get an idea of who you are as an applicant. So yeah, that's the statement of purpose. In some cases, we may be asking for a GMAT or GRE. This is a requirement for our program, but if you have a 3.0 GPA and over 2 years of work experience, then we will waive that GMAT score, so you will not need to take that test. In any case, before you make plans to take the test, just apply with your resume and your transcripts. We will evaluate it and get back to you. There are some cases where we may ask for an interview, and this isn't anything to worry about. It's just a way for us to get a face to the application. Finally, if you have a bachelor's degree from outside of the US, you may need to take a TOEFL or an IELTS. We also accept Duolingo exams for the English proficiency exam. There are exceptions to this rule. So if you aren't sure whether or not you need to take the TOEFL, apply to the program with your transcripts. We need those and your resume, and we will let you know whether or not that TOEFL will be necessary to complete your file. These are the admission requirements, so we'll just be moving on. Like I said, for attending today, I'm going to be sending you all an email summarizing some of the information that John and I have discussed about the program, but also I'll include instructions on how to apply. There's going to be a hyperlink included where you can follow towards the application. Additionally, I will also be including instructions on how to apply so you don't have to pay the application fee. And that's just as a thank you for attending today. Like I said, we're accepting applications for the August 8th start. So look out for that email if you do plan on applying. Make sure that you don't have to pay that application fee. But as of right now, that's going to bring us towards the end of the presentation. There's my phone number and email. So if you aren't sure for something like a TOEFL score, if that's necessary, or if you have any questions about, what to do with your transcripts, give me a call or shoot me an email and I'll be able to help you out there. John, Laura, thank you both for joining. I actually have some unrelated to professional MBA sports management questions for John. I know that you aren't the biggest soccer fan, but has attending this program gotten you to watch any more soccer games or been any more interested in soccer than you were before?
Yeah, so I forgot to mention this when talking about White Week. We were so lucky to get tickets to go to the Real Madrid game, which we got like fifth row seats. I thought we'd probably be sitting in the nosebleeds, but we had like amazing seats and we had like, they won 6-0 and it was super exciting. And also we went to a Real Madrid basketball game, and then there was the Real Madrid women's game as well. So they really did hook us up with a really cool experience, and it's totally different than American sporting events because they're constantly like cheering, and like in America, like after 5 minutes, like we'll be pounding beers and be like, we can't cheer anymore. So it's like totally cool seeing that. And I know that I went to like Atletico Madrid games, so you had the opportunity like on the weekends to go to different games. So I went to that, and that environment was electric. And then I know some people, I don't know the team, but there's another team in Madrid that played Barcelona that weekend, and some people went to that game as well to watch Barcelona because there were some Barcelona fans there, even though they love Real Madrid deep down. So like, I love the U.S. men's national team. We're going to win the World Cup this year. We're going to prove everyone wrong, but probably not. But yeah, and it kind of made me like soccer a little bit more. But I just kind of had to like find a team. I don't want to pick up like a bandwagon Real Madrid fan. Like, that's a bad look. So maybe if they start losing again, I'll be like, all right, let's go Madrid. But yeah, no, honestly, yeah, it's a great program. I can't like speak better on it. And always remember to network, because it's super key.
Thanks, John. Well, this concludes our presentation. If any of you have any questions for John on his experiences in the program, Laura on any questions about the university in Real Madrid, or myself of any questions for FIU, feel free to leave them in the chat or unmute yourself. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Look out for that email coming out shortly, and I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Leonardo.
I just have one question for John. Hello. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I can't remember if you had mentioned that you were working as well as doing the MBA program. So I kind of wanted to get an idea of how many classes/credits you took per semester.
So with the FIU classes, it was 6 credits, so 2 classes, and you were taking them at the same time. And I believe those were 8 weeks long. So you had 8 weeks for FIU, like 2 classes. And then like how I mentioned, they would do like the live classes like once a week usually. I think one class did it twice, but the other one was kind of like just questions. Like if you had to ask a professor, it wasn't really a class. And then the Real Madrid one was a little bit different because there'd be 3. I mean, I decided to do the second MBA. So that was 1 extra class. So it was 3 classes within 10 weeks. But I believe how they set it up, it was like week 1, 2, and 3, you had your first class. And then the 4th and 5th week, you would start the second class and kind of be finishing up the first class. And then like it would be like the same way on the 3rd. So like on the 8th and 9th, or no, probably not. I don't know math that well, but you basically you're kind of like overlapping just like 2 classes a little bit. So like in the beginning, you can focus on one, and then the end, you'll focus on your last class that you were taking with Real Madrid.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for the question, Tony. Gato is asking a question about how this program can help their students get their foot in the door besides networking. So this particular program doesn't offer internships as part of the curriculum. But with that said, FIU does have a number of efforts to helping you find your first job or your next job, whether that's in sports management or not. Specifically, we have what's called the Business Career Management Center. It's a facility at our MMC campus on 8th Street. If you are in this program, like John, or even 2 years after graduating from the program, you'll have access to their office down in MMC. Basically, they assist you with building your resume. They've done increasing research on the fact that if you are applying to a job, your resumes aren't being read by a person, they're being plugged into an AI that's looking for keywords. So they assist you in making sure your resume has all of those keywords, along with if you get to the point where you get an interview, they'll help you with mock interviews. So they'll prepare you for questions that could be asked of you, and maybe some questions that you want to ask a potential employer. And most importantly, the service that I think is the most important that they offer is their partnership with Handshake, where you're able to apply to jobs that are looking for specifically MBA students. So we are in partnership with all of the Fortune 500 companies that are based here in South Florida, along with other companies that have a long-standing relationship with FIU. They're looking for MBA students. We ask our MBA students to apply there. So there's a direct pipeline that you're able to get in contact with these potential employers. So FIU offers those services to any student that is in the College of Business, whether it's in the Professional MBA in Sports Management or any of our other MBA or master's programs. So that's one of the ways that we're able to assist you with that, aside from networking. But more on networking, we have plenty of events that are physical and online that you're able to attend and network with your classmates, along with other graduates of the program and people that are speaking as keynote speakers in those events. Cristobal is asking, is there a way to finish the program in less than 17 months? Unfortunately, no. The program is laid out with all the courses pre-selected, and the schedule is already selected for you. So once you're enrolled in the program, they'll plug you in and you'll complete the program in 17 months exactly. Good questions, everybody. Feel free to, keep asking.
Hey, Alex. My name is Angelo. Thank you guys for the presentation. So I have a question. I am from California. How would the program look for a person that's in a different time zone?
You'll have, like John said, the opportunity to tune in to classes. They will be, of course, set on Eastern time zone scheduling. So let's say that you are available, you're able to attend the classes, interact with your professor and your classmates in a live Zoom setting. But if you're not available because of that time zone difference, then you will be able to watch a recording. So what John was saying, on some of the classes, he watches the recording at a time that's more convenient for him. So if you aren't able to line up with our Eastern time zone scheduling, then you will have the opportunity to watch those sessions at whatever time works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And one more question. So I see that the start date is next month. Would you guys still be offering the same program for next year if I plan to decide to do it next year, or you don't know?
Angelo, that is our plan, but as of right now, we haven't set that next start date. But if you reach out to me with your interest in the program through email, I'll be able to reach out to you as soon as we get some news.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Yeah, of course, Angelo. Thanks for the question. Gardy's asking, is White Week separate from tuition? Yes, it is. The actual White Week costs about $1,500, but you can expect about another $1,500 in expenses for flights and food and other accommodations during your stay in Madrid. But yes, that is a separate cost from the actual 42,000 figure. Can you switch? Tony Ann's asking, can you switch track during the program? Example, if you started on track A, but then you want. So track A, track B, and track C is referring to our Professional MBA Online program. It is similar to the Professional MBA in Sports Management, but we're separate. So at the Professional MBA in Sports Management, there is only one track. So you won't have the opportunity to take classes more frequently or less frequently. There is only one track available. Tony, we've discussed before, you are already admitted into the MBA. Currently, the student experience team is drafting out the schedule. As soon as they have it, you'll be one of the first people to receive it. So we are working currently on getting that over to you as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you so much, because I was up until 2 a.m. trying to figure out if I should select classes and how to do so. I know I've missed a few emails, but thanks for that.
Yeah, and you sent over the acceptance form, so you're good to go. Right now, the student experience knows that you're a confirmed student for the upcoming semester. So yeah, once they have, as of right now, we don't have those documents you're looking for or the ability to enroll you. As soon as we do, we're enrolling you. So not to worry.
Okay, perfect. So I'm on track and I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, we'll be reaching out to you.
Oh,
Don't worry.
thank you so much.
Of course. Are there any other questions for, John or myself or Laura?
Alex, I have one more question. If I was to apply now, right, how long is the application process to see if I get a response and whether I get accepted or denied into the program?
As soon as you can get over all of your documents, it should take our admissions team a week, 2 weeks max.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of how quickly you can get all the documents in.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Hey Alex, hey Laura, hope you guys are doing well. Quick question regarding like classes. You guys already picked the professors, or are we able to pick the professors, or they're just chosen randomly?
So when I was describing that the courses and the track schedule is already pre-selected, the professors are included in that. So the professors, it's not like your undergrad where you have a course you have to complete and you get to choose a number of professors that work on a schedule for you. Those will already all be pre-selected.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. These are all great questions, everyone. Thanks.
Alex, sorry, another question, man. Regarding financial aid, so obviously, let's say, some people are having financial issues, financial aid it's done under FAFSA, right?
Yeah, correct. FAFSA is handling our financial aid. Once you apply to the program, I'll be able to send you over information on our financial aid. If you were to visit our website, you'll see a financial aid tab. They have an office at FIU. They'll be able to help you with any questions you have about, completing the application through FAFSA, or what type of package you can expect, or how to apply that package to your tuition payments. Their information will be sent over to you once you apply. I'll be sending that over to you a couple times. But yeah, through FAFSA.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't want to take up everyone's whole night, and John has been a really great guest. So I'll stay behind for a couple more minutes if there's any other questions, but we'll be closing up this presentation. Yeah, let's say within the next 3 minutes. But again, thank you all for joining. And if there's any questions you may think of in the future, be sure to take down my number and email there.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cristobal. Thank you, Gardy. Thanks, Pedro. All right, everyone.
That was awesome.
That went really well. Thanks,
It
John.
went
You were
really
great.
well.
Not bad.
No, you were
Was
really
that
good.
okay?
Honestly,
You're the
Laura's
best,
attended these with
John.
me. This has been the best sell of the program for real.
Good. Glad I
It
could
was
help out.
great. Very natural, very helpful information for the students. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, now we're gonna keep calling you. So
Yeah, I'm
you're
sorry.
doing as good of a
Look what
job.
I'm wearing right here. I got school pride, all right?
Yeah.
I got
Well,
rep.
this
Always.
was great. I really appreciate your time, John. I really appreciate your time, Laura. I'll close this out now. I hope you guys both have a great night.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thanks again, John.
Nice
And
meeting
thank
you.
you, Alex.
Have a good one.
You guys.
Bye.